I found out about the National Association of Church Business Administrators in 2002, or maybe it was 2003. I do know it was shortly after I accepted a full-time staff position at the St. Paul Baptist Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. And even though I believed then with all my heart that God had called me to do the work of the church, I also recognized that I had a lot to learn about this work that God had called me to do. And so the NACBA was a godsend in that it provided the training that would effectively connect my calling and my ability. I'm thankful that in July of the same year I was born, 45 trailblazers that included church administrators, financial secretaries, and church treasurers were meeting in Oklahoma City to discuss whether there was a basis to formally organize a national organization that would draw together church professionals for education, service, fellowship, for exchange of information, problem discussion, and for strengthening the contributions that church administration professionals could make in their respective ministry settings to further God's kingdom. Well, these 45 decided that it did make sense, and the very next year, from July 10th until July 12th, the first inaugural conference was held. 100 church professionals from 17 states gathered in a church in Dallas, Texas for that first conference. They elected the first president, adopted the Constitution and bylaws, and the NACBA came to be. Annual dues at that time were just $10. There are multiple ways to get involved with the NACBA: local chapters, national conferences, regional meetings, certification centers, and more. My entry point with the NACBA was the certification center at Union Presbyterian Theological Seminary at Richmond. Now, Union was not the only certification center that partnered with the NACBA. Gosh, I don't even believe they were the closest, but they were the closest who had the earliest opportunity for me to enroll. I found the educational component to be phenomenal, but the bombshell came in realizing that there were others in churches of all sizes and from many denominations across the country who were facing the same challenges I was facing or tasting success in their settings that I could model. And even though I traveled to Richmond by myself, I returned with relationships that have lasted for all these numbers of years. I completed the educational components, then immediately went to work on my project for certification. Earning that certificate of certification that was suitable for framing in 2007 was a major accomplishment for me, but I also know it went a long way to help those I served to have a greater level of confidence in my abilities. All we have to do is look around us to see how things have changed since the NACBA began, and just as the leadership has responded in the past, we must be able to continue to adapt to the very rapid and visible changes we are seeing now. The NACBA's mission was never intended to be exclusive, but we are now the church network because as church has changed around us more and more, our modern-day NACBA trailblazers pulled aside to discuss whether there was a basis to formally respond with a name change that did not imply exclusion.
How you doing? All right. Good. Looks like you're here for a convention. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm Phil Martin. I'm the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the National Association of Church Business Administrators. Wait a minute. I'm not through. You don't know where I work yet.
The National Association of Church Business Administration. A long name that's been around for a long time. Well, let's talk about that and talk a little bit about the future of the NACBA.
So this is who we are, and kingdom work is what we still do. The mission of the church network is just as vital today as it was in 1956, and it will be as vital 100 years from now. But how will we continue to bear witness? Well, there will have to be trailblazers who will pull aside to determine what action the church network takes to ensure the mission is kept alive.